my name is Max.
And I'm Calvin.
And we're hosting So You Wanna Be a...
Today's job is one that almost everybody needs at some point.
They work with water, pipes, drains, toilets, sinks, and sometimes problems hidden inside walls or even underground.
After researching this, I realized there's way more science involved than I expected.
So today, we're finding out what it's really like to be a plumber.
Before this episode, when I thought of a plumber, I mostly pictured someone who fixed a clogged toilet.
Plumbers definitely do that, but there's a lot more than that.
What else do they work on?
They install and repair the pipes that bring clean water into buildings and carry wastewater away.
So basically every time I turn on a faucet, there's an entire system of pipes behind the wall?
Exactly. Plumbers also install things like sinks, toilets, showers, water heaters, and other equipment also connected to those pipes.
What about somebody who's building a brand new house?
Plumbers can work on it before the walls are even finished, installing the pipes that will eventually be hidden inside.
So they have to know where every bathroom, sink, and appliance is going to go before they can even see the room finished.
Right, they read building plans, measure carefully, cut and connect pipes, and make sure everything follows building codes.
Okay, here's something I've always wondered. When I turn on a faucet, why does the water always just immediately come shooting out?
Because the water in your home's supply pipes is under pressure.
Meaning the water is already being pushed through the pipes before I turned on the faucet.
Exactly. Opening the faucet gives that pressurized water somewhere to go.
But drains don't work the same way, right?
Nope. Most household drains mostly rely on something much simpler.
Gravity?
Exactly. Drain pipes are installed with a slight downward slope, so wastewater naturally flows towards the larger sewer or septic pipes.
So plumbers have to get an angle of those pipes just right.
They do. Too little slope can let wastewater sit in the pipe, while plumbing systems have specific requirements for how drains should be installed.
I never realized something as simple as a drain needed so much planning.
Have you ever noticed that weird U-shaped pipe beneath the sink?
Yeah, I've always just wondered, why didn't they make the pipe straight?
It holds a small amount of water all the time.
Why would you want the old water sitting in your pipe?
Because that water creates a seal between your house and the sewer system.
Oh, so the air coming from the sewer can't just travel straight up through the drain.
Exactly. Without that water seal, nasty sewer gases and smells would come back into the house.
So the weird little bend under the sink is basically a water door?
Yeah, that's an awesome way to describe it.
What happens if a pipe breaks somewhere behind a wall?
That's where plumbing can start feeling like detective work.
Because you can see the damage, but not necessarily see where the leak is.
Exactly. Plumbers look for clues like wet spots, changes in water pressure, unusual sounds, and where the damage is appearing.
Do they always have to rip open walls to find it?
Not necessarily. Depending on the problem, plumbers can use specialized equipment to help locate hidden leaks.
What about a clog that's way down inside a pipe?
Plumbers can even send tiny, waterproof cameras through some drain and sewer pipes.
So they can actually see inside plumbing without digging the whole thing up.
Exactly. They can find things like cracks, tree roots, we'll talk about that later, clogs, or damaged sections of a pipe.
Alright, I think we're ready for some plumbing facts.
Did you know that some water systems built by the ancient Romans almost 2,000 years ago are still carrying water to today?
Wait, how did the Romans even move water without electricity or pumps?
They built things called aqueducts with incredibly precise slopes, so gravity could keep the water flowing for miles.
So if they made the slopes too flat, the water wouldn't move enough. But if they made the slopes too steep, the water would flow too fast.
Exactly. Roman engineers were geniuses. They built tunnels, bridges, channels, and pipes to carry the water into cities.
And parts of those ancient systems had lasted for almost 2,000 years.
Yep, in places like Rome, ancient aqueduct routes have even continued to supply fountains and water systems long after the Roman Empire disappeared.
That means that some plumbing has lasted even longer than an entire country.
Which is pretty incredible for something built without modern machinery.
Did you know that trees can actually grow its roots inside sewer pipes until the pipe is packed with them?
Wait, how does a giant tree root get inside of a closed pipe?
Usually it starts much smaller. A tiny root can grow toward moisture leaks from a crack or loose connections.
So once that tiny root finds water inside of the pipe, it has exactly what it wants.
It keeps growing and branching until the roots turn into a huge tangled mass.
And then everything traveling through the pipe starts getting caught in those roots.
Exactly. Plumbers can use special cutting equipment to remove roots, but badly damaged pipes may also need to be repaired.
So when somebody thinks they have a normal clogged drain, the actual problem could be a tree growing underneath your yard.
Plumbing is apparently gardening now.
Did you know that some plumbing and sewer workers send robots underground to inspect pipes?
We're not just talking about those little cameras at the end of cables.
Nope. There are some actual robotic crawlers with wheels, lights, cameras, and other super cool equipment.
So instead of sending a person crawling through a huge underground pipe, they can drive a robot through it.
Exactly. The robot can look for cracks, broken connections, corrosion, roots, and other damage.
And the people controlling it can watch what the robot sees from above the ground.
Some specialized sewer robots can even help measure damage or perform certain jobs inside the pipes.
So modern plumbing can involve driving a robot through an underground tunnel.
So if someone wanted to become a plumber, where would they start?
This is one of those careers where you can learn a lot by actually working alongside experienced people.
Exactly. Many plumbers learn through an apprenticeship.
What's an apprenticeship?
It's a combination of working and learning. An apprentice works alongside experienced plumbers while also learning things like safety, plumbing codes, tools, and how different systems work.
So instead of spending all your time sitting in a classroom, you're actually learning the trade on real jobs.
Right, the exact licensing requirements depend on where you live, but becoming fully qualified usually takes years of training and experience.
That makes sense. You probably don't want someone to learn how pipes work for the first time they're installing your plumbing in your house.
Probably not.
So what skills do you think would make somebody really good at
Problem solving is a huge one.
Especially when the problem is hidden behind a wall or underground.
You also need to understand measurements and basic math.
And be good with tools.
Definitely. Plumbers also have to understand how water pressure, gravity, pipes, valves, and different materials work together.
I'd add patience too.
That's a good one. Sometimes finding the actual cause of a plumbing problem can take a lot of time.
You probably can't be too afraid to get dirty too.
That one definitely would help.
Before this episode, I thought that plumbers mostly fix sinks and unclogged toilets.
Now we know that plumbers build and repair entire systems hidden beneath our homes.
They use water pressure,
Gravity,
cameras,
high-tech robots.
and sometimes they even fight tree roots.
Alright, that's it for today's episode.
We hope you have fun there about what it's like to be a plumber.
And discovering how much science and problem solving is hidden in the pipes around us.
And if you want your name and the job you want to be when you grow up featured in whatever episodes, head to maxandcalvin.studio.
Thank you, goodbye.